faced with situations that require us to decide. These simple decisions develop our principles and thus affect all other aspects of our lives. In this week's episode of Lifestyles of the North, we shall be featuring a man who, despite all challenges and trials that came his way, has stood strong and emerged a victor in all his endeavors. This is the story of Father Jean-Marie Tchang.
जब दिन के साहें ढलते हैं
China, located at the heart of Asia, is hometown to Jean-Marie Tchang. He was born on September 24, 1922, when warlords ruled China and the monarchy had just been overthrown. Due to social unrest, his family was poor, but nevertheless, Jean-Marie grew up with his core values intact, of which are highly evident until today.
In my time, in about 1930, when I was about 10, 12 years old until 15, in China was very poor in the barrio. But we are well taken off by the parents. Only the school, very few, very far, and to go to school is very, very hard.
In the face of civil war in China and the unpredictable outcome of the Japanese invasion in the 1940s, Jean-Marie had a clear vision. He had his mind and heart set on becoming a priest.
Elementary school, we are in minor seminary already.
But you decided...
Because there's no other school we can go, we have to go to seminary.
Yes, but you decided the calling came, Father, when you were still a young boy?
Yes. Since I was very young, about 10 years old, I was thinking about priesthood because the impression I get from the parish priest, how the parish priest loves his people, how the people respect him. By the two impression, I think I want to become priest.
How did your family react about your entering the priesthood despite the situation in China?
The reaction for my friend and my family are very good because in China, to enter seminary is much harder than to common high school. And we pay much more. In China also, the seminarians are really respected by the people. Only struggle we had is financial side because we pay more in the seminary than ordinary high school. But with the parents or my grandparents help us, I can push through. I really push through about it. During high school time, we are in minor seminary already, but we are educated by Jesuits. You know, the Jesuit education are very strict. Very demanding. Our education most important during high school time. We have to. They have the eliminating system. Every time if you are the last in the test, you have to go.
Okay.
We are starting in minor seminary with 60, but at the graduation time we have only about maybe 10 or 20.
With the support of his family, Jean-Marie faced the challenges of the rigorous educational system of the Jesuits. Through this stage in his life, one person stood as mentor and inspiration for him.
For the struggle, not so much trouble. I had a really good director, spiritual director, on the name of Father Emile Van der Waal, a Jesuit priest, who is always helping me. He gave me a strong principle. Every time when you have difficulty, John, he said, you take as a challenge. Do not complain anything, but take the challenge. Try to overcome it. That's the only way to help me
So
very,
what's
very
your
much.
inspiration, Father?
Yeah. That's
Your
my inspiration, really. I take that challenge because my aim is to become priest. By hook and by crook, I want to try. That's why I was not afraid of the difficulty at all. That principle helped me even later on, even now, still help me.
Japanese invasion broke into China during the Second World War. Still in his fifth year of high school, Jean-Marie was not spared from the terrors of war. At this point, his faith was put to the test, a test that nearly broke his body but never his spirit.
Father, you have a very interesting life, and I guess it would be highlighted during the war in China. And I believe you have a very good, or should I say horrible, experience during the war that you might want to narrate to us.
For you, interesting, but for me was really suffering. During the war time, I was only in fifth year high school. We were playing basketball, and they caught me. The Japanese, the Imperial Army of Japan, they caught me from seminary on the playground. They tied me on a rope behind their horse. They asked me to follow the horse. They put her in a small room, two boys with two girls in small, bishop separated in another room. Our room is only a staple before, only a small window on top. Below is cemented, four wall, nothing else. We have nothing. But the following day began to one by one to call us. Then we hear them crying, shouting, screaming. Then we know they are tortured already. And during the night, very cold. In October, it's already very, very cold in China. We do not know what to do. We have no blanket, nothing. So we dried a little manure of the horse from the corner and put that in one pile below the shoulder, another pile below the hip, in order that only the two places touching the ground, you know. So we let the two ladies lying down there face to face, with two boys each side one, back to them. That's the only way we can sleep a little. But we can practically not sleep because their pain have still going on very, very. That was very the most troublesome, most suffering place during that week, the second week of the jail. Before the torture, we are really afraid. But during the torture, we are not so much afraid with it. We only need to pray to God that we will be die already. Every time we are hungry already, putting water in our stomach, everything, we want to ask the Lord only one thing, to die. But only when we wake up in our room, we find out we are still alive. They ask us the confession to write down our confession, but we have always the same thing, confession. They accuse us, we are the communists, we are the guerrilla, but we are not. They know we are not. No.
Your companions, Father, during that torture, the four of you,
Yes.
were they able to survive the torture?
We all survived when we come out after 2 months. At the end of October, we come out, all survived. But now, when I think about it, it's very good for us. And that experience gives us so much courage in the future.
With all these experiences, Father, was there a time in your life that you wanted to give up on your faith and waver to becoming a priest?
No. In my life, I had many difficulties, but I never give up. Because Father Wonderful gave me that idea. I take everything in my life as a challenge. I accept it. I try to find effort, remedies to remedy the situation. But I give up, I never had that.
If you have another chance, Father, to go back, would you do the same? Would you do it all over again, or would you want that experience of torture be out of your life?
No. In my life, I've never been changed. If I have to start all again, I will still go into seminary and to start all again.
And you would
I am
still
happy
want-
with my profession to be a priest, and I will repeat again. I never regret about
even
it.
with that torture, Father.
No, even with torture. I'm willing to go back again.
Despite the mental and physical torture he and his companions went through, Jean-Marie still persistently pushed on to become a priest. After his release from prison, he went to Beijing to finish his studies in philosophy. Moving on to Belgium to take his novitiate, Jean-Marie was faced with greater challenges. Being in a foreign land away from his family and caught among classmates of different nationalities, however, didn't become a hindrance for him to attain his dream. Thus, with the help of his novice master, he was able to form his lifelong motto.
Always teach and impart to people that is esefayat.
Yeah.
Can you broaden that subject? What it really means?
That's what ecce fiat.
Ecce,
That's
so it's
Latin.
ecce
That's
fiat.
Latin.
It's a
Ecce
Latin.
means behold. Fiat, let it be.
So behold,
The
let
two
it
words.
be.
The two words were from Our Lady during his apparition. You remember the Annunciation?
Yes.
Our Lady said, "Behold, the handmaid of the Lord." In Latin, said, "Ecce ancilla
Ecce.
Domini." I use that word, mean to say, "I am ready. I'm ready to anything you want to do, anything." Fiat means to say, "Behold, let it be done." No?
So
But
I'm
Our Lady
ready,
also,
let
at the
it be
end,
done.
she said, "Let your will be done." It's also the word of our Lord Jesus Christ. You remember before he died, the Pontius Pilate brought him out after flagellation. He said, "Behold the man." That in Latin also, "Ecce homo," also "Ecce." And before he died on Gethsemane, he said, "Let your will be done, not mine. The fiat voluntas tua." That was his word. So I chose the two words with the help of my novice master as my motto of my life.
And as a loving father, the Lord provided Jean-Marie another source of inspiration.
Friday. On Sunday, one of the mother of one classmate come to see him. And he saw me. "You're not lady first," he said. "But John," he said, "I want you be my son." I said, "Mom, I don't know you. You even not know me. How can I be your son?" She said, "No, I don't know. I see you first. I love you. I want you be." I said, "No, I cannot promise you that. I cannot promise that. Whether you like or not like, from now on, I will take you as my son. I will take care of you. I will bring you anything you need." Imagine. Since that time, only the day before ordination, he went to Superior General. He said, "Father, you must help me. Father John do not accept I am his mother. I helped him already 4 years. He don't like to accept." No, if he really, you ask him. He said, "No, he don't accept." I said, "No, I don't accept, because in China, I just left my parents. If I accept my Atamazulka, my parents abandon me. You understand?
Yes, ma'am.
That I don't like to insult them." Then Superior General said, "No, you do not insult them. I think your parents will be happy somebody to help you. You adopt as you adopt mother, no problem." So I have to say yes before ordination. And he prepared my chalice, my chasuble, everything. My typewriter, going to the mission, my maleta, all he bought everything. I don't know how much it meant, my watch, everything was new. So I accept it. But I want to write a paper. I accept to be your son, but I renounce all the inheritance right. I don't like to hurt my adopted brothers and sisters. If they know that I will share their property, they will not like me.
Yes.
So I told them no. My mama said, "Never mind, I can give you as much as I like." I said, "Up to you, Nala." That lady I can never forget. I love that mama.
After years of patience and perseverance, Jean-Marie Tchang achieved his lifelong dream. He was ordained into priesthood in 1952.
When I became priest, 1952, they were planning to send me to Japan. I told the superior, I don't like to go to Japan. He said, why? Because the wound of the prison is still too fresh.
Yes, the torture.
10 years only. Even the mark in the body, some are not cured yet. I said, I like to go to Africa
Africa.
to help the Negroes for there. No, he said, you should not go. You go to Philippines. I said, but in Philippines, I will speak English. I don't know English. I know only French. That will be my difficulty. Never mind. You go to England. So they sent me to England for 6 months. I enrolled in tuition school of Oxford University. I stayed 6 months there. When I arrived, come back to Belgium, the traveling agency fixed my trip on the 1st of January. My adopted mother get very, very angry. What a stupid things. And the boy is going to the mission forever. He will leave me on in a year. He went to the Superior General. I cannot change that because it's fixed already. So what can we do? They said, only one thing you can change. You go to the captain of the ship. So we went to Antwerp, to the board. And we see the captain of the ship, Mr. Smith. Captain Smith, Sammy Smith to my mother, she said, okay, only one way can do. The boat will stop in Genoa on the 9th of January at 9 o'clock in the morning. From 9 o'clock until 9:20, only 20 minutes will stay there. If you can send your son on that time to Genoa, okay, he can put all the thing in the cabin. I give him the key. We say goodbye. We will meet in Genoa in 10 days. Can you promise that? My mother said, yes. I was so afraid. Suppose you miss only 20 minutes. Suppose you miss a liter. We'll be over. No, Mama said, no. In here we are guarding time, very, very sharp the time, especially train, very far. Okay, I brought all my things to ship. They locked, the captain gave me the key. Father John, try to be there on 9 o'clock at 9 January in Genoa. Suppose I cannot find your ship. No, Pier 23, he said. You Genoa, Pier 23, we will be there. So on January the 8th, I took the train, express train from Brussels. 24 hours to Genoa. We arrived in Genoa at 8 o'clock in the morning on the 9th. I took taxi right away. I arrived in the pier 8:40. So I had to wait about 20 minutes. I was sitting on the waiting for the ship. Then I saw the ship coming. At 9 o'clock exactly, he landed on there. The captain said, good. We jumped on the ship. In 20 minutes, the ship left already. The captain said, we want to celebrate. He opened 8 bottles of champagne. From there, I left Europe. 5 weeks on the ship. I got so sick, seasick.
And where did you go from there?
From there, we went to Mediterranean,
Mediterranean.
Atlantic, in Gibraltar. Then we go entered Mediterranean Sea. Then we go to Suez Canal, then Red Sea. Then go to Saudi, to Yemen.
Yemen.
Then from Yemen to enter the Indian Ocean. 11 days, 11 nights, we didn't see land.
Yes.
Father Gumbeni is only dolphins. And then the whales from far. 11 days, we reached Singapore. We landed in Singapore after 11 days. In Singapore, we cannot move because they strike. We have to stay 4 days in Singapore, cannot move. I was very happy. I went on the dock, on the land, and to visit Chinese school. So I stayed there for one night with them. I was very happy. And then we left. Then we went to Borneo.
Borneo. Yes.
In Borneo. From Borneo, we go straight to Hong Kong, bypass Manila. I said, Captain, why do not put me down in Manila? No, we cannot enter Born Manila. Why? I said, why? Because we have to unload this glass, because whole boat is window pane, whole ship made in Belgium. They unload the plane, unloaded the old one, and then we brought back to Manila.
So you landed in Manila?
Yeah, we landed in Manila on February 13, very bad date,
February 13.
1954.
On February 13, 1954, Father Jean-Marie Tchang set foot in Manila. Having a very little idea of what adventures awaited him, his trust in the Lord and his attitude of taking everything as a challenge gave him strength to hurdle whatever came his way.
And we brought to Baguio, we have to learn little Ilocano, because I don't know Ilocano yet. They sent me to Dagudin during the summer, after
Yes.
Holy Week. But no school, nobody there during summertime. So every day I have no teacher to teach me anything. Until June, I received a telegram. The provincial said, "You proceed to Bayumbong."
Bayumbong, Nueva
No.
Vizcaya.
So I went to Bayumbong on that day in June. I was assigned to director of elementary school, then director for elementary school, St. Mary's University, in charge of elementary school, and in charge of the barrio at the same time. My difficulty is first, the language, Ilocano. I don't have enough. I cannot go to the barrio. I go to the barrio, I just say, "Wunabo, wunabo," only. I just listen to them, try to learn one or two words, because we have no school.
And then from Nueva Vizcaya, Father?
From there,
How many years?
5 years.
5 years.
Then I sent to Aridao, Parish Street.
Where is that?
Aridao, also
In
Vizcaya.
Nueva Vizcaya, yes.
I stayed the 4 years in Vizcaya, in Aridao. There I've been director of Parish Street in the same time. I have 16 barrios. I have no time to rest, and the school is very poor. I have to manage it to not enough money to divide everything. After 4 years, I was so sick. I became only 50 kilo, weight, 50 kilo.
Father Cornelio Tonos was your friend?
My first parish priest in Bayumbong. He really like my father. He's a Dutch. He's not virgin.
He's a Dutch.
Yeah, Dutch.
Jean-Marie's dedication to the people he served earned him their trust and thus endeared him to everyone. To serve was his driving force. Thus, at any particular time of day, he was willing to sacrifice his personal comforts and even his health in order to serve.
After 4 years, I was so sick. I became only 50 kilo, weight, 50 kilo. So every night I faint during the mass. So the director said, "You better call Father's provincial. He cannot be." So I reached one day. Father provincial said, "How are you?" I said, "Well, you'll be here afternoon." In the afternoon, I said, "Yes, I will be there." Huh? Father provincial from Manila, he telephoned me. At 3 o'clock he arrived with his car. He drove to Aridao. He said, "How are you?" I said, "Okay." "No, you're not okay. I heard from other father, you are fainting every time. You take your things, little things. At 4 o'clock we go." I said, "Where we go?" "Go to Manila. I will bring you to the doctor to check up." We arrived at 11 o'clock to Manila. He brought me straight to Xingyang Hospital. He told doctor, "Check him up tonight, even late, check him. Tomorrow I will see the result, tomorrow 8 o'clock. After that, let him sleep." So at 12 o'clock I went to sleep. I wake up only 7 o'clock in the morning when Father Provincial knocked in the door. He said, "How are you?" I said, "I slept very well." "Good. Take your thing now. We go back to the procure." When I entered the procuring office, Father Gaden, you remember Gaden, the director?
Yes.
He was the procurator. He was taking care of the traveling. I said, "Father Herman, what do you do?" "Here, your ticket. A ticket, plane ticket. Tomorrow you go to Belgium." Hey, they knocked at the door. Mama said, "My goodness, you even not inform us." I said, "I didn't plan the trip. Only yesterday they told me I come here. I have no time to telephone you. On the plane I cannot. In those years we have no cell phone, nothing. You cannot inform anybody. So okay, you stay here now." We stayed there. After 1 month, I got bored. "No, you just stay at home. What do you do?"
That's when you came back
Father
here?
Superior said, "Okay, you go to school, to Lumenvite, take care pastoral, how to preach. You learn how to preach." So I went there, the international school. We only 33 nuns and priests, only that.
finishing his studies for the pastoral, Father Jean-Marie Tchang returned to the Philippines on July 11, 1963. He served at the Baguio Cathedral till December 1967 with vigor, for he was to serve and at the same time spread the good news of the Lord. During these times, Father Chang's origins, in which he is deeply rooted, coupled with the growing number of Chinese residents in Baguio City, gave him the encouragement to establish a church.
39 years old.
39 years.
First I'm in Cathedral,
Cathedral.
taking care of
first.
the Chinese. But I said, who are the Chinese? Everybody probably have Chinese blood. Who are the
Yes,
Chinese?
Father.
Bishop said, those who speak Chinese. I said, very few. They're only Chinese school. So I applied in Chinese school to teach in Chinese school. I
Chinese
taught
school.
7 years in Chinese school. All the high school graduates all under me.
And then from Chinese school,
I was assigned also teaching French school for
French
3
school
years,
for 3
teaching
years.
French. So one summer I teach in BMA Chinese.
and then your service in the church, Father.
I stayed in Cathedral about less than 4 years.
And then from
1966, I went to Manila to looking for grant to build for Chinese because they asked me to be Chinese, to take care of Chinese. I want to have separate church. So I went to Nuno, the son of President Quezon, and he gave me permission to use Lourdes Grotto. That's where I built, 1960, at the end, I built the church, Lourdes Church.
Thus, in 1967, the Lourdes Church was realized and was completely built in 1969.
The principal is very late already. I started 1974 here in Lourdes. Because 1972, the Philippine Boy Scout, the 12 Boy Scout law, changed by George Marquis into 10. Then they want to explain, they want to ask me theologically to explain the 10-point Scout law. During my work for 6 months, to cite all the Bible, everything, what is the explanation, how to apply it to the boys.
What is this principle, Father? It says, be honest.
The first, the 10 point.
Okay.
So during the working time, I said, why 10? Why 12? Too many.
Too many
And
principles.
children cannot memorize it.
Okay.
If they cannot memorize it, how can they apply it? They can hardly understand it. So let's reduce into 5.
Okay.
That's why I work to the 5. I propose it to substitute the 12 Boy Scout law.
Anyway.
First, be honest.
Be
I said the
honest.
first, very easy to memorize, very easy to understand. Very simple. Be honest, be clean, be kind, be self-disciplined, hardworking.
And be
Only the
hardworking.
5. Only the 5. Be
Yes.
hardworking. So what I did, when I went to Moscow, I put that as school policy. You go to Moscow
You'll see
in
this
cement. That's on the building, the 5-point achievement. I want all to tell my graduates, you follow my 5-point. That's your guide. You don't need anybody guide you.
After establishing the Lourdes Church, Father Tchang was then assigned to Don Bosco Aurora Hill. Here, he served as the catalyst for the major reforms in the infrastructure of the school and also the church.
I notice here, Father, a lot of scouting memorabilia.
Yeah.
You've been involved in the scouting movement for 70 years
So,
now?
70 years.
Maybe you could narrate to me, Father, how you got so involved in your involvement in the scouting movement.
In the beginning, when I joined Boy Scout in China, we don't understand anything. We just being scout because we are forced to join Scouts. Only when I come to the Philippines as a priest, they asked me to in charge of Boy Scout. I began to involve very deeply. I take the training. Eventually, I become the National Training Commissioner.
Father John Manny Tchang at 80 has served the scouting movement for 70 years. He was conferred the Golden Tamara Award last May 27, 2001 in Cebu for his support and service to the movement.
But the leader, what is the leader? Jesus Christ is the leader. He don't say, go ahead. You want to be my disciple? Follow me. Follow me. So he had to go ahead. That's a leader. A leader must love his followers, not the commander, not always. That's the very important things. I go back always Boy Scout and priesthood, the same thing. Because the priest is for service. The people. Boy Scout also for service. We have the Boy Scout, the common word, the motto, is laging handa. What's for laging handa? Para paglilingkod. It's not exactly that word. Ready to serve. Ready to serve. A priest must also ready to serve.
A man, a priest, a scout.
Well, as a priest, I have no authority. I'm not authority to criticize anybody, and I don't like to do it. My principle is positive. I want to do what I can. I want to preach to the people what you should do. I don't like to do what you should not do. I don't. Even that 5 principle is all positive. That's why I criticize even 10 commandments. Ten Commandments is 7 is negative. Do not do this, do not do that. But what we should do, they don't tell. So I don't like to be negative. I want to be positive. I don't like what they say, what they're doing is wrong. I don't like to tell anything. But I want to tell it is of my own experience at 50 years priest. Even as a scout, we need to be only one word, is love. They must understand what is love. They must apply the love. A Buddhist priest must love his people, and he must do everything out of love for his people to better their life, uplifting their life standard. That's only my principle. If a Buddhist priest loves his people, no problem. No problem. Even the Filipino priests, regularly they ask me, Father, what is your secret? Why you continue building and building, building? Where you come the money? How you can collect the money? I said, well, if you ask from your friend, they will never refuse me. So you need a friend. So, secondly, try to see to it. Your expenditure always higher than what you collect. If your expenditure is smaller than what you collect, nobody will give you money anymore. Because the question mark is that where the money goes. That's simple two principle. You make friends, they love you, you love them. When you have difficulty, they will help you. If you love somebody as a friend, they ask you anything you want to do. You want to make effort to do. You ask for 10 billion, you want to give you 20. You understand? But if he don't like you, even you ask 5 billion, he don't like to give you. Why should they give to you? You don't do the job. Exactly the same. Only to love. Love. I believe only love can do it. But many people massacre love. What is love? I tell my students often. To love is to sacrifice ourselves for the benefit of the person we love. Sacrifice. So men sacrifice love. I remember when I was in Narita, appointed Buddhist priest. On the convent door, there's service time from morning 8:30 until 11:30, then 2:30 until 5 o'clock. When I arrived there, first thing I did, I took a ham, a jacket straight away. No, for the priest, no service at all, 24 hours a day. Anybody, a sick man call you, you must go, even midnight. Somebody dying, you must go. We are like doctor, yes, you cannot say that service time, no question of that. But I am companion Boy Scout and priesthood, very, very similar. The two very, very similar.
A burst of colors. This best describes the life of Father Tchang, filled with vibrant experiences that etch a wonderful and warm smile on his face and is seen on the faces of the people he has touched. Today, Father Tchang celebrates 50 golden years of priesthood and service to the people of Baguio City and the Philippines. 50 years of self-sacrifice and unselfish giving. The legacy he has started and instilled in each person shall be living forever and shall be passed on to the next generations.
Well, I have only one word to say. It's to thanks. Thank everybody, especially those who organized this fiesta. For me, I really have no idea how to celebrate it. But no, they celebrated the best, probably among all my classmates. I want to thank them, especially Miss Nang, the owner of the Rose Bowl, who sponsored the dinner, sponsored the lunch, everything. They spent everything. And the staff to film this program under the guidance of Gladys De Vera and all his staff members. I want to thank you all. Thank you very much.
Upon his retirement in 1999, Father Tchang has lived in Home Sweet Home, Baguio City. Living each day in pure simplicity, this messenger of God finds joy, living with his fellow priests and in silent communion with the Lord.